Hello. Halloween is coming. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Teacher Bill. I was thinking because of the upcoming holiday, I'll teach you how to make a jack-o'-lantern. Now, normally we use a pumpkin. Now, this is a Japanese pumpkin. Compared to the West, this is rather small. Western pumpkins are a lot bigger, and you can do all sorts more stuff to them. Make all sorts of interesting designs, art pieces with them. And I highly recommend, if you get a chance, to go online and look up at some of the unique carvings that they have done with the pumpkins. Right? And the pumpkin is a type of gourd. Right? That's, G-O-U-R-D, a gourd. Right? As you see here, this is a Japanese style pumpkin, and they're kind of small. But we're going to make a jack-o'-lantern out of it. What's a jack-o'-lantern? Well, it's one of the things that Westerners like to use for Halloween. It has a unique history behind what the jack-o'-lantern is. Some say this guy named Jack in Ireland tricked the devil, and the devil gave him eternal life. But he didn't tell him that the eternal life meant he had to walk the earth, and can only be seen around October 31st, which is Halloween, walking along in the midnight air with a lantern. And the Irish people went to America, and it changed from a Irish gourd, it was a long gourd, to the Western pumpkin that was found in America. Now, as you can see, I didn't do it yet, but I saw this one and I could see like an eye here, an eye here, and a big mouth here. But what do we do is first? Well, first, you need to figure out what you need. One, either a plate, or you can do like I'm going to do. I'm going to lay a newspaper down over the table, so I can try to keep it clean. Next, you need a knife. It's kind of hard to cut into it without a knife. You need a bowl. Later, you'll need a candle. Alright? Candle. And you have to figure out what type of face you're going to put here. Some people will take a marker and they'll draw on it and then cut that way. Some people will take a piece of paper that they've made a design on and then tape it over it and follow kind of like a trace outline. Oh, but the first thing we need to do is open the top where we can put the candle in. Now, you might see some, I'm going to sit there, not very good, because you want a kind of like a lip inside of it, so when you're done, you can put the lid back on and it stays there. The best thing to do is go at an angle, A-N-G-L-E, an angle, not straight down, at an angle. Alright, so go at an angle, and I probably should have did some pre-cutting, but I want you to see how difficult it is right up front. You're going to try to make sure you don't go all the way through. I'm trying to just keep the tip in. It can be a little bit tough. So if you're young, you might want to have dad or mom or grandma and grandpa do the cutting for you. Alright, like I said, what an angle. Alright, an angle, that way there's what we call a lip. Alright, so that when I go to put this back on, it goes right back in. Now, we got to get rid of this stuff inside. Now, one reason I like the big pumpkin, Western pumpkins, because we can reach in and just grab everything out. The Japanese pumpkin is a little bit thicker and a little harder. But I can still reach in and kind of start breaking it up. But it's almost a little too small for me to put my hand in there because it's such a small pumpkin. This is where another thing comes in handy. A fork and a spoon. Right? Of course, a fork, spoon. So I went in there scraping. And you're wondering why I needed a bowl? Here it comes. Ugh, the guts are coming out. Now, you see all these, I don't know if you can see all the seeds or not, because I can't touch the camera right now because my hands are a little clammy to bring it close. But, bring the seeds to you. The great thing about the seeds is you can do two things with it. One, you can do a thing like toasting the seeds. And put them in a pan with a little oil and cook it so that you can eat them. Another thing you could do is you find a nice little green area and plant them so you can grow some pumpkins of your own. But I would wait until the spring to plant them. So you want to clean the seeds of all the pumpkin mush off of it, dry them off, put them in a dry location so the humidity doesn't get to them. And then in the spring, find a nice place to plant them and grow your own pumpkins. So I plant them in the early spring, and by the fall they should be done growing. Yeah, let's take it all. You want to make sure you get all of it out because you don't want anything left inside. So now I need to give it a face. And like I said, I saw an eye here, an eye here, a big mouth there. Well, I can also over here. I think I'll do it here. This, for the eyes, you can go straight in. Ugh. So what shape did I make for the nose? It's one side, two side, three side, four side, smaller, longer. Right now we got to worry about the mouth. And I have an example over here, but I use a different fruit. I know this might be different. Traditional Western pumpkin almost can't find at all. You can make some other ones, but most of these I recommend doing the day of Halloween. Don't do it too far in advance because with the humidity outside, they will rot real quickly. There we have it. And then all you need to do is get a candle, a lighter, Now, actually, I would make this probably the day before to give it time for it to dry out. But I want to show you. Like I said, I made some others. I took one, just an apple. You can't, and then you can give this away as a gift and they can eat it. This one I made from a watermelon. A lot easier than that one. But traditionalists will tell you, no, it must be a pumpkin. But since Western pumpkins are hard to find here, I think they will forgive you. Just don't tell them. Like I said, I gave it a lip. Lip. Gave it a bit of lip. Lips. Lips and teeth. Another trick I do with an apple. Now you can make it look gruesome. And watch what happens when I turn off the lights. And say, Happy Halloween! Ooh!